Hello and welcome back into the halftime bit here for the LCS Challengers League. I'm Magical, joined in by our casters Mazel and Beatdown once again. Are you both ready for the shenanigans that I have for you? Because shenanigans is only for level 1.
Yes.
I'm upset.
Why are you upset?
Because I want to get shenanigans all the time.
No, it
well.
it has a special place. It is a special place for level 1 shenaniganery. See, it's just how it works. I don't make the rules. I just follow them.
You make the rules.
I mean, you do. You made up the words, so you make the rules on this one.
Speaking of making up rules, let's talk about the halftime bit we have. I made up something very original, as we like to call it, the quiz show with Magical. Very
How does he
title.
do it,
wow. New names every time.
Continue to praise me.
Oh.
All right. Also, I have a banana duck, so if you piss me off at all, you're gonna feel the wrath.
What is a banana duck?
You are asking the wrong questions. You're asking the
do?
wrong
Is it
questions.
made
In
out
fact,
of, like,
you're not
plastic?
supposed to ask
Does it
the
do
questions.
anything?
I'm supposed to ask the questions. And question number 1 is with Vi locked in is City Witty's second game on the champ this split. How many champs has City played more than once this split?
4.
Okay, why are you saying 4?
I don't know. It was Jin.
All right. Beat, what do you got?
I'm just trying to count. So
No,
you-
are you looking at your notes? You looking at
No,
my
I'm just
notes too beat
Yeah.
down, but I'm not looking at my
That
notes.
sounds like
Wait, you
cheating.
have notes? I'm not even looking at notes. I'm
sounds
literally
like
just counting
saying.
in my head the champions he's played. I'm
sure.
gonna say.
Counting the names of the
All right.
champions
Well,
in my
okay,
head as
hold
I
on.
can
I'm gonna
see
say
it on
3.
my screen.
All right, so Lennon, how about this? If he's wrong, I take away a point from him.
Now that's based.
Well,
I mean, Lennon needs the help. I understand.
all right.
I
you're
mean,
both
I'm
wrong.
just
So
saying, I
minus
won
1
earlier
point
today,
to you,
beat
Beat.
down.
Yeah,
Losers
he
and
did.
losers.
And also
Yeah.
minus 1 point to you, Beat. It's 8. 8 champions
8,
is
okay.
played more than twice.
More than twice.
But only 3 champions have been played more than twice, and the most is only at 4 games with Karthus and Kindred
wait,
being
do
tied.
you want to try
Okay.
that again? Because that didn't make any sense.
4. Sorry, not 4. 4 games. There's only 4 games.
Oh, okay. There you go.
Yeah, I realized I said that as well. All right. But yeah,
Jin.
no points except that minus point over to Beatdown. Sorry.
Negative, ha!
Yeah, now let's get into question
we'll
number
see.
2,
We'll
shall we? What emote did Hyper use after getting first blood against Aspect?
Ooh.
I'll give you a point
don't know the
for
name
each
of it.
part. If you can get the champion and then the actual name.
Oh, like the name of the, okay.
Yes.
It was.
Is it Bard? Is it a Bard emote?
Okay. Well,
I
Lennon.
really don't know.
Not even gonna
it
stick
was
to
it,
what-
I think it was. Was it the screaming emote? But that's not a champion.
Oh,
so
that
not
was,
Champion. You
uh,
can't. I'm giving you the
yeah.
hint. It was a champion.
You know what? Out of left field, Aurelion Soul Dab. Why not?
Oh,
Why not?
It-
I know
it-
it's not it. I didn't
It's
see
not
it
it.
ever.
It's not it.
I like that one a lot.
This was meant to be a very hard quiz, so don't worry.
don't
It was
Great.
Zaya's "Oh Please" emote.
ah.
Yep. So
So close.
Yeah, so close.
Yeah,
Right
you know,
on the
I
tip of
like
my
it
tongue.
was on the tip. I was this
nothing for
close.
either of you. Let's get into question number 3. How many stacks does Serdi have on Cho'Gath at 14 minutes?
14 minutes.
How many
I'm
stacks?
gonna say
5 is a lot of
6.
Maybe
I'm
not.
gonna say 6.
I don't know.
Well, okay.
I got 5. I got 5.
So you're giving him a lot of stacks at 14 minutes.
I just assume you do it on cooldown. What is the cooldown level? I don't even know.
It's 3 stacks.
It's like a
3
yeah.
stacks.
Oh,
That's
okay.
what, like, and the one time he could have gotten an additional stack to maybe make it so that he could have done it on cooldown was when he got the kill mid lane when he rotated down, but he didn't devour then. Instead, he went back top lane and devoured a minion, and that made it so there was enough time between the cooldown so he couldn't use it a 4th time. Sorry.
So close.
I know.
Again,
Wow,
so,
just-
just
You guys are
inches.
terrible at this
inches.
game. You know that? Weren't you
I
watching?
love that you put like the hardest questions at the end of the day to make us
I
really think
know.
the most. You couldn't do like that biking thing where we literally just sat there for 9 minutes talking to each other at the end of the day.
Just having a conversation.
You really thought
wouldn't
about
be-
us. You really thought about us, huh?
Well, I did think about you and how to make this harder and
I
funnier
see,
for
I
me.
see,
So
I see.
He is good at
that's
that.
That makes more
Look,
sense.
you're acting like I'm a good person, Mazel. You need to stop that. I'm just gonna tell you right now.
Scratch away the surface and see.
Yeah, there's nothing there. It's just more dirt. All right, let's get into question number 4. How many times this split has FlyFam gotten first tower gold?
Ooh, how many times this split?
Yes.
I'm gonna say 3.
Okay.
17.
Respect, to be honest.
I just like the polarity between the two of you.
Yep.
3
One
and
of us gonna be wrong.
17.
Both of us gonna be wrong.
Yeah, both of you gonna be wrong, but I will give a point for whoever's closest. So, Mazel, do you want to try that again?
Nope. 17.
All right, he's sticking his guns. All right, Pete, you get a free point for that one, so you're back
Let's
to
go.
0.
We're back to 0.
See, I had
We're
one to
climbing
lose.
up.
I had one to
6.
lose.
It's 6 despite.
We're I'm
having
coming
only
back.
3
I
wins.
told you,
Sorry.
Lennon. The handicap's not enough.
It's not enough.
All right, here's a nice, easy softball question for both of you. Are you ready?
I'll be the judge of that.
Who was the first player in the game to surpass 10K gold?
Ignacia.
You literally saw it on screen. You both even commented on it.
We
You both actually
did.
even commented on it.
I want to say
Come on.
Hyper.
Come on.
I don't know. I'm probably wrong, but we're gonna go for it.
He's locking it in.
All
He's
right,
locking
you're
in those lyrics.
you're
I'm
both
so-
just sad. Were you even watching the game? It was instinct.
Was it instinct?
It was
Yeah,
instinct.
that was
He got
one
the
of the
first brick gold by
Yep.
himself. Of
did.
course,
Yep.
he's gonna be the first one.
Yep.
Yeah, that's a shame.
Yep.
That
Sounds
checks out.
about right.
0 points still. Nil flaw. Let's get
No
into
problem.
the 6th question.
Yeah,
After
yeah,
this
yeah.
game, what does the record FlyFam have with Hyper on the team?
Oh, like how many wins versus how many
Wins, loss.
losses?
Yes.
Is it like two,
How many
two,
games have
two,
they
two,
played?
two?
I will say after this game, it is 11.
Oh my
So
God,
they're
okay,
2 and 9. No, they're 3 and 9. 3 and 8. 3 and 8. 3 and 8.
Are you locking that in? Lennon,
locking
what
it
about you?
I can't go the same. So
I mean, you can.
two. Okay, well the 3 and 8. No, 2 and 9. Why not? 2 and 9.
All right, so he's gonna change it up. Well, Pete, you get the point here because that is exactly what it is.
I wanted to give
3
him
and
the
8.
That's what I'm
handicap.
talking about.
I figured we
Let's
changed hands on the
go.
handicap.
Yeah,
at least,
yeah,
you
I
know.
bet. Yeah, whatever you got to tell yourself, bro. It's fine. Like, I'm calm.
All right, you know what? Fine. Let's get into the last question, shall we? This is the last one. And I want to hear arguments from both of you on why you
God.
pick your answer.
Interesting. Okay.
Who is the better caster, Mazel or Beatdown?
Zell.
Give me the argument.
Why?
I mean, look at him.
Why?
That's not. Come on, keep
Have you
keep
listened to
saying
him?
words, keep
I've
saying words.
never.
Something to
Hold
do.
on. I got this, bro. I got this, bro.
Say words.
All right, give me the opening, bro. Have you ever heard a play-by-play
Oh my
whose
God.
10s give you goosebumps on command?
Why are we
Whose
doing
hype
this?
is unsurpassed. I don't know why, but I want to win really badly. So
I can't even
He's
stay on
so
screen. I can't. I
hyped.
don't. This is not comfortable.
there isn't anyone funnier. There isn't anyone who can push the limits of what we
Oh
can
my
say,
goodness.
like Mazel or Lennon Mazel White.
Special shout out to
Do I
earlier.
need to say more?
No, you don't. In fact, Mazel needs to say more.
Yeah, you know, Beatdown, he's the best caster because he brings that story knowledge, bringing the players to the forefront and making sure to tell their stories in a meaningful way and finding ways to do that in
true, I
a,
do
you know,
do that.
relatable fashion. So,
true.
you know, that's
true.
what
All
I
right.
have to say.
All right. Let me tell you the answer because there is an answer for this one.
He's gonna say it's magical. I bet any
Unfortunately-
amount of money.
Unfortunately, you were both wrong.
And yet,
The
who is
answer
it?
is, as I wrote it here, they're both equally amazing casters.
Damn
Next thing
it.
you'll get from me,
I should have
take that
thought
to
of
the
that.
bank and take us in to our final draft.
Let's get down to it here. It should be a lot of fun. As
I won, by the way.
You did win.
1-0.
Tried to ruin the moment.
Baby, that's right.
Yeah,
There's
but you
only
were
2
1-1
people.
now. You lost
There's
earlier,
only
loser.
2 people
Come on.
better than me, Lennon, and I'm both of them.
All right. Well, we're
go.
going to get this ship going here, going into draft. Magical, it's been an honor and a pleasure to to have you lead us through your mad magical games. Let's get down to it with our potential final game of the day and the season,
true.
at least in the regular season, unless we get the craziness on the other roster. But let's go ahead and get down to it. TLF back on the blue side, FlyFam on this red side. We get that Lee Sin banned away, tried and true, and the Ashe as well. The Rakan also banned away by TLF.
So what's the change up? That's my immediate question here for Team Liquid first. They're choosing to stay on blue side because they want to get that priority pick. Maybe they grab the Gragas for themselves this time. Don't let that one go. Hey, there's a lot of different options we could see come through here. But the point is, I'm standing by what I said. Front to back, so good for FlyFam. I mean, it worked out so well for them. It has in some of the recent wins that they've gotten. They've managed to, I mean, 3 of their 4 wins have been these last couple of weeks.
They have. And we're speaking of that kind of win record there for Hyper. Really coming to his own, it feels like, now on the FlyFam roster. We'll see if he can kind of slam home this last game and try to make a little bit of a comeback in this record here. But that was the Sejuani and the Karthus banned away at the last second. It is the first pick Annie this time for TLF.
Sejuani ban is a change up. Really important that they get rid of that from Hyper because
this is
how
simple,
impactful
right?
He was going to be. Yeah, like he was so big all game long. He was not letting Aspect breathe. It was actually like I was kind of feeling bad after a while. So FlyFam, they're going to not change what's been working. Of course, you're going to put Lunacia on the Jax. And I mean, same thing.
Why not? I mean, it works so well. Like,
this time Hyper can play it. Yeah.
And they have that flexibility.
Yeah. Unless they pick a jungler on 3 again, in which case no flexibility necessary. Yeah, it would be funny.
Now we'll see, I guess, what TLF want to adapt to, right? We had the Cho'Gath last time for Surdy. We had a little bit of strength from the jungle in terms of facilitation. Obviously not available this time around. We'll see if this Viego actually does get locked in, and it does. So City Witty getting some, eggs in his own basket this time.
Right, so I've seen this might be the first game for City Witty on the Viego this split. I don't recall any, and that's going to be an interesting one because it's champ that's popped up in priority, especially with nerfs to things like Maokai and the Elise, of course. So now we're seeing these 80 junglers come through, and I like it because you have a lot of flexible options with how you can play the early game, and you have that bot lane you can play for it with the Varus because you are such a strong lane bully champion. And whether it's the Annie or something else there, it should be a good lane to play for.
I was checking that just to make sure he has not played it. This means that this is his 17th unique champion on the split.
Wow.
That's actually just insane. I just wanted to make sure. I counted it one more time. I counted like 4 times now. I'm like, that's a lot for a jungle.
That is a lot for a jungle.
I do love to see this kind of adaptation here for TLF and giving, again, more onus. Now, the Varus is a big pivotal pick. That response is the jungle, like you're kind of laughing at. And,
literally.
that FlyFam focus in first phase.
I respect FlyFam and their unwillingness to take advantage of flex pick potential. They're like, nah. Just give me the Wukong. It's like, yeah,
we're not
but
gonna lie today.
Yeah, no lies, no games. We keep it nice and simple here on FlyFam side.
I do like this focus back in the second phase, though, from TLF. They do ban away the Zeri. We said, you take this champion because it's open. It will not be open this time. So we'll see what Instinct can kind of grab for himself. A little bit of late game there. The Jace, the Olaf, back to the ban table for FlyFam.
Right, and I mean, for FlyFam, it's got to be the Xayah. Like, it's been one of Instinct's best champions as of late. It's so strong right now. You already know what you're playing into. So you get yourself that Xayah Rakan. You just, once again, it's a bit of a different look, but you have a repeat of what's going on in that last game for FlyFam. Front to back play for Instinct, who has been having some pretty great games these last couple of weeks.
Yeah, he really has. And again, it feels like FlyFam. I said Hyper coming into his own, the whole team kind of coming into their own this time around. The Seraphine is the final ban, though, from TLF. They're trying to take away maybe some of that kind of spiciness from FlyFam. We'll see what FlyFam themselves want to lock in. It is the Felio, so late game Hyper scale carry again coming through.
And they basically switched one for the other. They banned Aphelios last game on the side of TLF, so now they opened him up this game. And that actually makes me wonder, too, is Robex going to play something like the Thresh? Because, I mean, Thresh is like, you know that missing piece meme where there's like a puzzle piece in your hand from back? That's what Thresh is in FlyFam's draft. So you might want to consider moving Annie to the mid lane and just running Varus Thresh, because that's a pretty good combo, too.
Yeah, and now that you have Surdy with the Renekton, so you get a little bit of aggression back into the hands of Lunacia. And I'm really wondering if this this kind of pick could be the solution for TLF, because if you do get a catch out onto Instinct, say, or those kind of engaged tools to pair up with City Witty, that's a lot of successful things that can happen, and it is the Nautilus locked in.
Right, so this is more of a cohesive team fight angle there for the side of TLF. And you know what? I like the Braum as well. You have engaged. You also, it's really great into Nautilus because, I mean, every time he all ins you, he's like, yeah, well, shield. Ratio.
What you got?
Yeah.
Yeah, but it is very, very strong competition. Now, I do see that we have a little bit of time, at least, until we are going to be getting into game. Apparently, some issues with
talk about
Champions
Lennon.
Select. But it is
no one else here.
particularly, just you and me. Just, nobody else. I do actually, Magical comes in our ear, say, and me. But I do love this, though, with that adaptation you were saying, kind of taking that Annie into mid lane. Now we do have TLF kind of adapting their composition for a second game that is important for them. We said how much this matters just to the teams themselves for facing another provisional team, but also for a couple of these players. And I think after that first game, it was a little bit heart-struck, and now maybe looking to do the same back with the Viego.
Right, so there are more options for TLF to play for in this early game too. You have Surdy on a more power pick, which I mean suits him and his dynamic with this team a lot better. This Renekton, like early on, you can outtrade the Jax. You do have control over this lane, and Surdy being that player we highlight a lot, being that player we believe is already good enough to be on a Challengers team, as he has played at that level before. You give him this matchup, even if it's against Lunacia, you should be able to get control. Have that lane City can play through, and you have that early game potential. I mean, really, like, across the map. The only real question mark maybe is bot lane, but mid, you get push. Top, you get push. So this is a lot of room for City Witty to navigate this early game, and he has to make use of it.
I want to go back to this top lane matchup, though, as well, because game number 1, Surdy played the Cho'Gath. That's all fine and dandy, stacking, scaling, good on you. This time, he's the Crocodilian from down under, and I'm excited to see him take to Lunacia, try to find a little bit more presence in lane as well, and try to take the town. Lunacia, who had a stellar game number 1.
You cannot overhype that game 1 from Lunacia. And yeah, now Surdy has more agency in this top side. Team Liquid first have more agency in this game, and that's the most important thing for me here, is that they use it. What happened?
It's the last game of the regular season, at least, maybe.
You're right.
If we don't get the last official game. The last official game of the Challengers League stream for spring split regular season of NACL, and it is TLF versus FLYF. As we almost get to level 1, and what a way to kick off our last game. As a level 1 comes out, Surdy misses the flash over the wall, and we get the first one coming down here.
Are you kidding me?
They get it! Rovex flashing over the wall, and FLYF have come to make them take to task.
Wow, we get the 5v5 level 1 to get the beginning of the end. I couldn't have asked for anything more exciting. As again, yes.
Shenaniganery!
That's right. Some shenaniganeries here, and FLYF out shenaniganery Team Liquid first.
We get a nice level 1 from FLYF. Now it's about calming down a little bit for TLF and finding out after burning so many summoner spells where they can find any presence on the map and a little bit of pressure themselves.
Right, and that first kill over to Hyper, I mean, it's really nice. He already comes back to start his clear with the longsword. I mean, we'll have that extra damage. We'll be able to clear a bit faster. And that's pretty nice because he'll have that opportunity. I mean, he'll get his clear done. He'll be on the map a little faster than normal. And we'll have an opportunity to have that lane impact. He had so much impact in the mid lane in game 1. Now there are other lanes that you could be playing for as well, namely bot lane. Saphelios. He's your friend. He needs help.
He definitely needs help. He needs help with all those weapons. He's got all those weapons that he needs help with. We'll see if he actually can utilize
Where
that.
does he fit them?
His sister gives them to him from the moon. That's normal, right?
Oh, wow. It's a cool story.
Imagine going up to somebody like, oh, where do you hold all your guns? Oh, my sister delivers them to me from the moon.
I just smile and nod,
Sure, buddy. Sure.
Yeah, sure thing.
Get the engage here from TLF on bot side. This is what we wanted to see from Team Liquid Honda first. they don't find the connection. His Sword a little bit tanky there, already hitting that level 2.
That's right. Team Liquid first. That activity from City Witty is what we wanted. Looks for something. But again, we're seeing how powerful that Braum is. You see the defensive summoners in this lane. Cleanse, Exhaust. Like, this is going to be so important for them, especially later on, or how Sword's going to be able to have impact. And I mean, you look at Hyper, he's just going for the full clear. Now we'll have an opportunity to get out on the map. We have an opening. That wave looks like it's pushing towards Instinct and Sword. So soon Hyper will be able to move down and find that angle. In fact, I don't see any vision placed down yet, so they wouldn't know for LGX and Rovex.
I want to see that kind of unique pathing here. City Witty also looking for his own, at least for the time being. Will be looking like a trade of Scuttle Crabs at least. And Sword
there is vision. Yeah, they know. So they're clearing out the vision so that there's the opening there for Hyper. Now you can see them getting more aggressive. Rovex is even leaving to set down a ward. But actually, I'm not even sure if he got one down.
Oh my god, Blaze.
Oh, I mean, this is ranged into melee. But Blaze is playing with fire, and I respect that.
So far, so good, at least. Not getting burned, but TP now used from Aspect to try and save bottom lane. They're actually going to go for the re-engage here. Sword having to flash out. Did it use that exhaust as well. And Lunacia in a 2v1 in top side should be just fine.
Yeah, really nicely done. Anticipates the move from City. I mean, the ward he set in the Tri-Brush gave him the inkling, and he basically makes it so that FlyFam actually gained in that fight. You get the teleport out of Aspect. Now he has to walk his way back. Blaze very wisely just clearing this slowly to ensure that Aspect loses as much as possible as opposed to hard shoving the wave. So there is a punish there for the mid lane of TLF.
They continue to separate themselves a little bit here in the last series of the day. It was a very, very nice game number 1. I know we were talking about kind of a different level of looks for these provisional versus provisional matchups, but in terms of these matchups we've seen all season long, FlyFam look damn good. And I'm really, really looking forward to kind of how they continue to use that momentum here. We were talking about it being so important, and TLF try to stop that momentum to some extent.
That's right, and they've been trying. City's been looking for these angles. No success yet. To be fair, since the level 1, FlyFam haven't been able to find anything either. No objective play either in both of these teams, especially for Hyper. I mean, he's just been power farming this whole time from what we can tell. He's a good bit ahead of City. A couple of camps of farm, and it's going to show in the EXP. And that early kill also means he has the Caulfields too. So he's got a lot of skirmishing power. He could fight anybody right now.
Yeah, and I want to see them utilize that.
Yes.
Now, that is the next biggest question, as we have First Dragon up on the Rift and a lot of presence from FlyFam plus TLF around here. But no big start, at least, just yet. And I do wonder, you know, when we were kind of looking at last game, we were saying some scaling aspects, some stacking for TLF. Definitely feels like the ball is in TLF's court here. While they do have some strength late, I'm looking for City Witty and Sorty and things to kind of get connected. And even in this slow early game, 6 minutes in, I would still like to see a little bit more of that proactivity.
I would too. So far, you've had that constant push on the top side, and actually I might need to hold that thought because this is Hyper, a lot of stats.
Hey, get out with the Dreads line though. City Witty just around the corner. Nothing else going to come of it. It should be Blaze having roamed down, meaning actually spotted out there. So FlyFam backing away. I thought maybe they start this Dragon, but it looks like a skirmish would be brewing if they did.
This one's tough, actually. Hyper hasn't backed in a bit, so him and City, excuse me, are even in terms of items, so you're not having that same advantage he had earlier on. And they're actually just going to back off because despite the defensiveness and how well Instinct and Sword are kind of absorbing the pressure bot, they're still getting pushed in. So prio over the Drake isn't really there. In fact, TLF, they've set up so much vision on that bottom side of the jungle, even into FlyFam's jungle, to make sure no Dragon goes without their say-so.
Got to keep the tabs on the scaling things that are going to be going into this game, especially when you're looking at Instinct, who opted into the FLYF this time, not Zeri, but still that late game hyper carry. And again, FlyFam leaning a lot of what worked for them last game. I think that's important to kind of factor in here because you're getting another crack at it while against a different composition. You're still getting a lot of those kind of same movements and things. And now Sword on the roam, finding out a little bit more vision towards this bottom side for FlyFam.
Needing to clear some out, get inklings of where City's going to be.
Hyper's level 6.
Oh, wow. He really
a little bit of trouble. Conqueror there. Can you get out, City? But you're going right to Blaze, who gets stunned up by Tibbers. Now over the wall with the flash. Hyper says, no way. A second kill, maybe even a third. Blaze can't chase it down. Maybe they just go under tower. Hyper tanking. No, it's, oh, Blaze. You went down in the sun. Hyper, a double kill for Aspect.
Oh. I see. Well, that was a little interesting there from the mid jungle of FlyFam. You get some gold into Aspect's pocket. Very much needed, and a nice play from him playing off that anti-passive. So, wow, that was something. I'm going to talk about bot lane now. Instinct finds himself a little ahead. Oh, nope. I guess I got to talk about this now. So, Hyper, I mean, this makes perfect sense. Like, you're ahead in pretty much every way. You have the ultimate, so you're like, yeah, let's fight. Forget, like, who cares? And Aspect here is doing a good job trying to force them away, but it isn't enough. They commit summoners. The problem is, we keep going. Once Aspect flashes, guys, we've done enough. And FlyFam didn't agree with that. And Blaze stops because he's like, yeah, I might as well tank. I'm dead.
And then that stun coming in at the right timing for Aspect. Now, finally on the back end, maybe a little bit scorned by that early play. FlyFam will be getting maybe this, yeah, maybe Scorch. We'll be getting this Dragon as a trade while City Witty takes the Rift Herald.
Well, that's pretty good, actually, because we talk about how important this early game is, how impactful Surdy's top prio can be, too. So it means that you're ready for this Herald that City has. And now, you actually have a dive you could potentially go for here.
Oh. Nice flash from Lunacia. Oh. City Witty almost goes down. My goodness.
Wow. That's really nice from this guy. Like, to be able to go in, limit test like that, you deny the Rift Herald play. Now Lunacia gets to just recall, walk away, loses out on a bit of gold, XP, but that's fine. This is a player who we got to keep reminding you. He's so new to competitive play. Played a little bit on, what was it, UC Irvine, a little collegiate experience, but far and away his first time at this level. Someone we weren't expecting to be as good as he was, and guess what, Lennon? He's all that and then some.
Truly has been, and when you talk to him, right, he is kind of that shy, timid guy, but you hear the strength in terms of how he's gone through a journey that has been a long time coming. We got to hear kind of how his first journey into video games were, right, and it has been a long time coming for him to try to make this happen for himself, and I love that FlyFam gave him the opportunity and that he's taken full advantage of it over a long season of growth, right? We're not saying it's been all positive sunshine and rainbows, but he has been that brightest point up until this point for FlyFam.
Yeah, and that even with FlyFam's small but newfound successes in these last couple of weeks, like Lunacia is still someone to highlight and talk about here. And it's good that he's taking advantage of the opportunities he's got. I mean, speaking of too, you got Instinct, bottom lane, looked tough. It was looking tough for him at the start of this split, but he's really coming to his own again too, especially considering all the experience he had. That's been good to see as well.
Hyper hovering around mid. That Rift Herald does get the charge off. Initial present onto 2, and here comes the Wombo combo.
Oh, they're going in.
Aspect as the shutdown goes to Hyper, and that's the pull of the trigger that FlyFam were waiting for.
I was gonna say Hyper. We're surely not turret diving that, right? And I was right, which is good. And that's a successful play for FlyFam. You lose a plate bottom side to LJX, but it's fine. You take it down, Aspect. You take control over this bot side jungle. See the vision sword is laid out, and you're going to be able to continue pressuring this bot side. Continue snacking the dragons. And it means that because that Herald play didn't get a lot, it means that you limited that snowball that TLF was trying to go for. I mean, again, props to Lunacia for preventing that play. And it allows FlyFam to just continue stacking and not be the worse for wear.
Now, we did get first item completions coming across, at least for Surdy and Aspect. Aroa, they're starting to stack up for Aspect himself, but it is a little bit of that CS lead in Surdy's side that's helping him out with that one. And speaking of, we do have a little bit of a CS lead for Hyper, been able to make it around the map pretty heavily. But with no real big objectives coming up on the map here in any time real soon, should be just a foray to try to find some of this vision back for Sword and the rest of FlyFam, while TLF just buying some time.
Right, and you can see it. Again, Sword just constantly putting down wards, putting down vision, making sure we know where, if City's going to show up, we know where City is. You see the pings. They're already on to him, Lennon, and it means that in a minute 30's time, they'll be ready to set up that dragon. Instinct Sword just need to keep up the pressure bot side. And only real advantage you have as TLF right now, never mind, it's over. I was going to say the Bork was there for LJX, but Instinct, he just waited a second to finish the Bloodthirster. No real advantage. I take it back. I'm sorry.
I take it back.
I lied to you. Could you ever forgive me?
Can my people get back to your people?
You know what? That's all I can hope for in this situation.
Of course I accept your
Thank
apology.
you. Oh my God.
It's a wonderful day here on the NACL. But speaking of, we got to look at this next dragon setup. Maybe FlyFam able to use some of this early pressure that they had found, but even with not a big lead, to get this second dragon and start stacking it up.
Right, and you see it. Hyper immediately clearing away wards, keeping the pressure on TLF. They're doing their best to play this game, but Blaze, both games this series, has had control over that mid push, and it's been a big part of what's allowing Hyper to play this aggressively. And now, speaking of aggressive, they're making a play on that bottom side. We're also looking top. Is something gonna happen? Never mind, it's bot time, baby.
Rovex walks right into, misses the dredge line out, trying to Spider-Man his way. Should be the nice little knockups coming through. Rovex gets taken down by Sword, though. Here comes the rest of TLF, though. TP's coming in aplenty. Heartbreaker misses, but Citywitty still gets the soul of Hyper, as that's another big shutdown at least. And now, if they get the re-engage on Surdy, oh my goodness, he's gone.
Whoa,
That's a big
what are
timbers
we
from
doing?
Aspect, though. 3 members, but it's red, white, and Instinct said, let's fight. Bam, bam, and they're gone. That's another one on the side, though, for Lunacia chasing down Aspect. They have all fallen, and Rovex coming back from base is the only thing left that TLF have.
Fantastic fight for FlyFam, and Instinct goes crazy to help continue this one, and I'm going to talk about this in a second, but this was a good angle for FlyFam overall. They know where everyone is. They know how much time they have, so they're willing to push it to get it done, and even though they trade Hyper in the process, what we see after is what really matters. 30 TPs, Lunacia TPs, and I mean, watch 30. Like, that's all there really is to talk about. You see the Counter-Strike? I mean, you're no longer allowed to be here. But FlyFam also recognizes. They're like, oh, hey, how you doing, Surdy? And they just win the fight.
That was a 3-man Timbers from Aspect, and it's just nothing left for TLF to put in the tank, and Blaze with the pullback on the flash play.
It's just been some good stuff from FlyFam today. And even yesterday, Lennon. It's just been some good stuff. Now, they're looking to get their first 2-0 in Spring Split, by the way. And they are well on their way to getting it here, as this Herald is also belonging to them. City.
Oh, Rovex goes in for an engage. The stun is luckily there. It is the Rift Herald going over to Hyper, though. So objective secured out of the fight as well. And FlyFam come away with a lot now with 2,000 gold in the lead.
Brutal. They're going to be able to get more. They can drop that Herald mid, not now, but soon. Go ahead and set up for taking down that mid-tier 1 turret. You see, that's why they're hovering it on the side of TLF. They're making sure they don't lose that right away or without a fight, because that's going to be that last missing piece. Oh, wait a minute.
Hey, Surdy waited for a little bit, but Lunacia says, no, not today, friend. And Lunacia takes down the man that's been helping him grow into this split. Surdy falls, and Lunacia might even be able to take another on the Citywitty. He does! A double solo bolo for Lunacia!
Wins the 2v1 nice and easy, and gets to happily push this turret in the top side. And that's the opening. Hyper can drop the Herald. The whole team can show up. And with that dredge line missing, this turret is not long for this world.
Lunacia's just putting on the big boy pants in this series, man. He is just popping off on the jacks. It's looking damn good. Solos in the games, but also taking 2v1s in everything. It is incredible to see FlyFam just wake up and smack TLF in the mouth.
He was watching Fake God in our first series of the day and really started telling himself, yeah, I can do that too. And look at what it's earned him. 1,000 gold almost in his favor. 3-0-3, and the rest of the team overall is just so far ahead.
Oh, LJX, you are an ADC that is out in the middle of nowhere. Hyper just passing through says, oh, don't mind if I take that.
Quick little drive-by is really the only way to describe that, as LJX being out of the picture.
He literally just kept walking after because he knew he was just going straight there.
There's nothing for him to do, and City is also, I mean, there's a lot of people nearby. Hyper might be in trouble. Okay, he's fine. It's Wukong. My bad.
Yeah, you forgot. You forgot.
I
It's
did.
okay.
I did.
But you know who's not Wukong?
Oh,
Sword. I don't know how I found him. Oh, he gets over the wall. The Heartbreaker now is not going to connect, but he does still get the soul. Hyper might have just given his life because of that one. He's trying to get over to Lunacia, trying to find a survival tactic here. But Lunacia, you got to be careful yourself. As the leap strike to get away. Man, a little bit of miscommunication there for Sword.
Yeah, it doesn't quite pan out the way they're hoping for. So you do end up giving away a kill. And more than anything else, you give away pressure, because look at what TLF are doing with it. Now they're starting to push deep into FlyFam's jungle. Set up vision, make space for LJX to take down this mid-tier 1, despite what Instinct is trying to do.
Ooh, Hyper. In a little bit of trouble. Oh, but LJX is in more trouble. Okay. Lunacia has just decided to end people's life now, and Surdy has decided to go in the backline for some odd reason, as it's just the capitalization from FlyFam, and man, they just continue to look so darn good.
The angle looked good for Surdy, but 4 seconds was too long. TLF instantly lost that position he was going for, and now they lose the tier 2 in the process. Objective bounties are up, FlyFam are knocking down structures, and TLF, they're losing everything.
Another dragon coming up in 35 seconds as well, and this is sole point for FlyFam. Lunacia 4-0-4. We're going to be having second item completions for FlyFam very, very soon. And there it is.
Yeah, and just in time for dragon number 3. I mean, third dragon's usually the check-in comps where you have people who are scaling, and looking at where everyone on FlyFam is, I think they're ahead of schedule. They are looking excellent at the moment here, on their way to, again, their first series win here in spring. It's been a rough one for the boys over on FlyFam, but they're looking to finish strong.
LJX flashing out, Sword having used his as well. The engage, though, trying to go through for Rovex, but it's a front to back now. Tibbers on, has been used by Aspect. Hyper has to go golden here. Tibbers finally falls. The concussive blows do connect on a City Witty, but Hyper needs to be a little bit more careful. And Surdy trying to chase him down. City Witty just walks straight into FlyFam, who are wrapping around, and FlyFam missing the Moonlight Vigil. Doesn't matter, because guess who's got red-white again? And it's all of FlyFam, because TLF are looking bloody, and FlyFam come out fighting.
9,000 gold. That's the lead they've gotten for themselves. We're only 20 minutes in, and they're going to be able to walk not only to the dragon, but walk it up to the Baron. They got everything they need to finish this game. Instinct's looking so good on the Aphelios. That's why they banned it in game 1. You should have banned it in game 2.
Losing 4 members at this time is very, very rough. That will be the third dragon. Lunacia able to solo that one down. And FlyFam on the other side taking down the Baron. They take everything they need. Those chakrams helping out. Should be some backs coming through, spending of the gold and finishing of some of these items for the secondary carries.
Oh man, Lennon, this is brutal. Now we're up to 10K. FlyFam. Just gonna go ahead and say it. They did it. What a crazy run it's been for this team. Like it's been, we gotta be honest, it's been hard. Roster troubles, performance troubles, so much that they've had to work through, and it's managed to culminate into this. TLF also going through similar struggles, looking to achieve the same thing here, but FlyFam have just improved so much more, and it's showing today.
It really is. I think we're seeing some of those little individual strengths that we've kind of sporadically seen throughout a lot of the split. coming to a head here, obviously, against another provisional team. And we're seeing the Baron buff still up for another 2 minutes. FlyFam should be able to get even more of the base of TLF.
Yeah, and you know you have to let that go. So Aspect's taking this moment to try and get an objective bounty. Get a turret on this top side of the map. But I mean, so much is still being lost in the process here. You see FlyFam, they're going to push in for the base, and the wave clear isn't really there. I mean, you have the on-hit Varus, so that's something to work with, but you're just so far behind. You have to be careful. You have to make sure you're not into the range of the engage of this team here. I mean, you see it in the picture-in-picture. Objective bounty comes through. Nice little bit of chunk of gold for everybody. But it's still FlyFam winning out.
These builds, double black cleavers coming through for FlyFam now as well as the siege continues. You do have Blaze pushing in the middle. It's already trying to find a response here. The 5-man stacks can be available. They have to find who they can collapse on. It's definitely not Lunacia.
No, he's level 15, 2 levels above everybody. He's
6 levels above Rovex. Goodness. And that's always going to be a little bit of the case, but still, it never stops ceasing to amaze me.
Yeah, it's been a good one. We're the top lane of FlyFam, and you can see a TLF. They're looking for the angle, using LJX as a little bit of bait, as they've caught him.
You got 30 seconds on the Baron.
Oh, they're making one last push.
Moonlight Vigil on LJX. LJX, he's just gone. He has his whole team right next to him. He's just asking, where did it go? Tony Stark, it hurts. As now it is the inhibs falling one by one, and one by one, FlyFam will push into the base of Team Liquid first.
They got a wave coming in. They might not even need the supers. FlyFam could close it all here and now, end their series on such a big dub.
Tibbers coming back. That Unbreakable is doing so much. And who is Unbreakable? It's FlyFam! As it's not about how you start, but it's about how you finish, baby. FlyFam will get their first 2-0 of the split as they want to finish out this one. It's a heck of a time to be a FlyFam, and it's a race for playoffs for the provisional team that does not quit.
What a conclusion for FlyFam. We even got to see it on the overlay right there. Tick over. It's got to feel so good for them. Their first series win. The first 2-0 to cap off their split.
It is incredible stuff indeed. Now we're going to be taking a little break here while we get an interview ready with Mad Magical, and then we'll see what happens with our tiebreakers. So don't you go anywhere.
Hello, welcome back into the Verizon postgame interview here on the LCS Challengers League. We got the mid laner of the successful, the victorious, the 2-0 Titans themselves. It's FlyFam's mid laner, Blaze. Congrats on your first 2-0 of the split. How does it feel?
Well, first of all, thank you for the welcome. And it feels great to, have obviously, it's no secret, a rocky season to get stronger and pull off this 2-0 towards playoffs.
Mm-hmm. And Beat was asking you a question that I made sure that you didn't answer, because this is what I wanted to ask you. Looking at how the team's been, like, how has the development process been for you guys, especially looking at how you picked up, what was it, 4 wins in the past 2 weeks, where you guys had only got that one all the way back, and I think week 1, it's been that long of a drought until you got it.
Yeah, well, for us, we... obviously behind the scenes scrims analysis, besides that point, we all know we have what it takes to actually beat these teams. If you watch our games, we're pretty decently ahead in the laning phase, unless it's doomed or whatever. And we just find ourselves throwing it or not transitioning it well enough. So we're fully aware that if we cleaned up, we can take on most of these teams.
And clearly, you guys have. You took a game off of Dignitas Challengers yesterday, who are going to, more than likely, I got to make sure to do the final calculations with the rest of the crew. That's probably going to be your first round opponents going into playoffs. It's every team making playoffs. I feel like after taking that game off them and looking really strong here against Team Liquid, this is looking like it's going to be a very exciting first round for you guys.
Yeah, hopefully we can take what we've learned these past few weeks and actually put them towards playoffs. I truly believe that if we kind of pick up the slack, we will be a good contender.
I think so too. And, for provisional teams, how you perform in playoffs is really what truly matters, right? The regular season, you can kind of wash your hands clean of that.
Yeah. If we're the superstars of the playoffs, no one cares about what happened. Everyone's here to improve at the end of the day. It's the NACL system, so.
Yes, agreed. All right, so I kind of want to talk to you about your personal growth. This is your first big chance in this kind of ecosystem. It's like, sure, you're playing on the provisional team, but you're facing off against the likes of Insanity, Diplex, M&S, these players that we've seen absolutely pop off. How do you feel like you've grown, just you individually, over this split?
I will say, obviously, in this system compared to the normal amateur system, a lot of these players are higher caliber. A lot of them have been here longer than I have, and the first few weeks for me were definitely tough. And I will admit, I guess this overall season has been, looking at it from a third-person perspective, a disappointment for me, because I truthfully know that I am better than what I've showcased, and the only way to put that to the test is showing up on stage in these playoff games coming up. So I'm really looking forward to that.
Well, you did show up today on the Gragas pick. I mean, it was 2 games of Gragas. No longer do you got to play what you really like to with those assassins. So,
yeah.
Why do you think the shift's really been there?
The meta, it's no doubt the meta is clearly defined. There's certain champions that are better than others, and Gragas especially 3-way flex, 4-way flex. I'm sure Instinct would even be put on it if he wanted to. It's just a little too strong. They kind of made a mistake giving it away, I feel.
Yeah, it would be wild though. Instinct on Gragas, get the Yasuo Gragas bot lane. Remember that?
Yeah.
Especially because we are seeing Seraphine prop up a little bit more. All right, so I'm going to get you to say this here on the broadcast. How far do you think you're going to go in playoffs? Just gut instinct. Be
I don't know how many rounds there are, but, I can't be a downer and say we're going to lose first round or early on. I think we're going to take it as far as we possibly can.
Fair answer. It's all, yeah, like I said, I'm not sure the the rounds either. Got to do the calculations later on. So while you have this platform, like we talked about, it's your first 2-0 of the split. You have a lot of people that you can address and say, hey, be proud of us. So any people that you want to shout out?
Obviously, shout out to FlyQuest for hosting this provisional team. I think amateur teams are a great thing for the franchise orgs to have. Shout out to my teammates. We're all super aware of how good we can be, so I'm hoping we can, clean up and actually show the players what we know we can do. Big shout outs to Lyota and Brandini. Lyota's the head of scouting, so he was kind of very involved in this FlyFam roster. And Brandini, I kind of love Brandini as a coach. He's very, as a player, he's very hard on you. He, coming from a player background, he knows what it's like. He's been there. He's experienced this, so his feedback's always very valuable. And thank you to my my friends and family that watch these games and support me despite the rocky start to the season.
Hey, it might be a rocky start, but it's all about playoffs. Who cares how you perform in the regular season when you perform in playoffs? Like you said, Blaze, thank you so much for joining us for the interview.
Of course,
and
thank you. We're
going to let you go celebrate with the team. As for the rest of us, we are going to actually go and skip over to what's happening on the other stream. We're going to broadcast this here, simulcast it, because it is exciting. This game has all power to it. Tiebreakers are on the line. Did Kangas' chance work? Well, let's go find out.